the 19th June 2026. Good to be with you today, listeners. We come to you live from the AC Hotel at 38 to 42 Lady Musgrave Road in Kingston. And this is going to be one of those broadcasts because everything is going on around me. So I pray that my system can manage all the events here and bring it to you in clear, logical fashion. We thank you so much for staying with us. We know that you have choices. We're happy when you come here, happier when you find reasons to stay. This is the hotline.
Emily's views, her position on the issues, her point of view backed up by the facts. Here are Emily's views.
I've got a lot to say. And I regret I don't have time this morning because I can't deal with all of the issues in the time available because of the nature of the broadcast I'm on this morning. But I promise you, because the way I treat matters on this program is in such detail, and the details are important, I promise you that I will come back to you with the details because attention to detail it's an important attribute for individuals to have. There is one particular matter I wanted to deal with this morning fully because I've dealt with it in at least 2 Emily's views before. And that is the issue concerning the imbroglio, for want of, or for finding an appropriate word, the imbroglio at the UHWI. In light of the developments before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament at the last PAC sitting. You may recall that I treated you to the thing as it emerged on this continuum a number of weeks ago. And there was some very important new information that appeared before the committee when it last sat, including the disclosure of what can be termed, not what can be termed, what is actually referred to as addendum to board meeting, with substantive details concerning the appointment of a chief executive officer by a subcommittee of the board, then of the University Hospital of the West Indies. Substantially, what has been disclosed, and it's very important in fairness to the process and fairness to you, fairness to myself, my conscience, as I've tracked this matter, that you get to hear in detail, but we can't bring it all to you this morning. The details put in the addendum to the board meeting about the recruitment process of the chief executive officer. But additionally, I think it's so important that we listen and listen well. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to go over and listen to these meetings, because sometimes it's when you get information that a little bit more clarity comes, information in writing. And why do I say that? I say that because part of the disclosures before the PAC relates to the CEO who was identified by this subcommittee of the board. She didn't pick up the position. And according to the former chief executive officer, Dr. Chai Chung, who made the disclosures in a submission before the Public Accounts Committee, she didn't pick up the position of chief executive officer, though she was shortlisted, interviewed, and now based on the addendum to the board meeting, the minutes, we're seeing that she was actually present and in Jamaica and meeting with the Minister of Health and other members of the team of the UHWI. But she didn't take up the board, the CEO position, because she said to them they needed to resolve the issue of this sort of disparity between the role of the Senior Director of Clinical Services, who reports to the board, and the CEO is not a member of the board. Yeah? So you have a situation where it's as if you have two heads running the UHWI. And she thought that that was an unhealthy situation to continue. And if it's not resolved, then she's not going to take up the position, even though the position was offered to her, at least by the subcommittee of the board which was established to do the hiring. And it is so crucial that you hear this in full. So because she didn't take up the position, the then board, headed by Chai Chung, they say that they appointed an acting chief executive officer. And the addendum to the minutes that have been disclosed, I am searching through them to find where it was ratified that that acting CEO is to take up the job. And based on what Mr. Chai Chung said, the Minister of Health did not agree with the appointment of the acting CEO in the face of the CEO who was selected from overseas, declining to take up the job. The minister dissolved the board and appointed the former chief executive officer. So it's crucial for us to comb through these documents and see if they do show the appointment of an acting chief executive officer after the lady from overseas did not take up the position. The answers are there, but we don't have the time to go into that. I promise I will come back. The next thing. I don't have any issue at all with any minister of government, any member of parliament, any Jamaican fighting tooth and nail to defend their reputation and to seek to, in the court that is appropriate, to deal with any matters that arise. And if they're charged, to put up the strongest legal team in their defense. So Dr. Wheatley, nobody's taking that right away from you. What I believe you should not be allowed to do is to continue to sit as a member of the executive whilst you seek to clear your name. And you need to understand the distinction. By all means, it may be that the charges against you, when leveled, cannot be proved. Go and fight it. But the collective integrity of the cabinet, it's a very important, intangible thing. And I am amazed that more than 48, near 72 hours after the disclosures in the parliament, and these disclosures are substantially different from the ones that we heard of in any previous Integrity Commission report. And I am amazed that even now you stayed put and the Prime Minister has not moved to do anything about your position. Prime Minister, you get it together. This is untenable in so many language. You get it together. We shouldn't be going into the weekend where Dr. Wheatley remains a member of the cabinet, and it is beyond debate. I have to deal with the MOU. I can't deal with it now in full. But the good thing about history, There was a time during the Manat Phelps and Phillips Commission of Inquiry when information came out about these secret MOUs that Dr. Phillips signed with the United States government. There was a difference with them because nobody in the cabinet, we understand, knew about those MOUs. And so the issue of collective responsibility and cabinet secrecy, all of those things were being undermined. But perhaps he could say, perhaps he could, even though it's not a good argument, is that it is about national security matters. But so ferocious was the debate about these clandestine MOUs signed by Dr. Peter Phillips, and the political haranguing was great, and rightly so. So how on earth this administration believes it could go ahead and sign an MOU over 1 week or so before any information came to us, and have the effrontery to have us try to understand exactly what they signed is beyond me. Up to now, I don't understand it. Dr. Chang, you don't seem to understand it either, because nothing you say to me is clear on exactly what is to happen. And we shouldn't have to feel in the dark. On top of that, don't come and tell us that there's no coercion, because we know that there's no diplomacy in the corridors, in the halls of power anymore. We are fully aware. We are fully aware that what we're dealing with are not negotiations, but dictates. And we know that we don't have the power differentials are unequal. So what you probably need to do is speak with us in coded language, and we will better understand, instead of taking us for idiots, because we are not. And it doesn't help that other Caribbean territories have these so-called TCNs. You need to read the room. You need to learn from history. You need to know when to speak with us and get ahead of the news. So what is happening now, to my mind, is not acceptable in how the matter has been handled. And even though we don't understand, you're telling us that these individuals are not deportees, but are they free people in the United States? Are they buying a ticket to come here? Or are they to be transported in the custody of representatives to get here? And if they are not, we are not into the euphemism. You need to talk straight. And if you cannot talk straight, get somebody who can talk straight and level with us. This administration, you need to watch yourself. There's a time when the thing goes to water bottom and it's going to drop out. There cannot be so many mistakes in 1 week, or 1 week behind the next. When David Cameron came here and promised a prison, it was rejected forcefully in the Parliament of Jamaica by the then opposition leader Andrew Holness, and I agreed with it, chiefly because of the historical relic, because of our relationship with the UK, and the issues concerning slavery, which is a bit different from the United States. But exactly because of that, and exactly because of the secret MOU, you come to us early and explain and distinguish. You don't hold a speech until some biennial conference. Don't make, my granny would have said, don't make people spit on the ground and it dry up before Dr. Wheatley resign later. And give us full explanation about this so-called MOU. Because up to now I don't get it. And I read things in light. I don't read in the dark. That's all the time we have.